Well, school and I didn't get along too good. I was always looking out the window. You know, I just never could sit still or want to be there. So my whole school life was just really a struggle. And it was a good day when I finally graduated from high school. Well, when I was just a little kid, I was in a grade school assembly. And a guy from Alaska came and gave a talk. I just kind of fell in love with the place since then. As soon as I heard him talk, I went, that's where I'm going to go. I bought a Datsun pickup truck and a Scotty trailer and drove to Alaska. Didn't know anybody. Alaska Highway coming up was all dirt, gravel. There was not very many facilities. There was a lot of people betting against it even making it to Alaska. It just didn't think it would make it. Ended up doing that in the winter, which might not have been the best choice. I didn't get very far north, just out of Minnesota up into Canada. And it was cold. I mean, I had to get an engine heater put on the truck so I could even start it in the morning. You know, it was down well below zero. All the water froze, food froze, everything was freezing all the time. But I still plugged north and made it. I remember one of the happiest times in my life, really, and I remember it vividly, is when we crossed into Alaska. There's a big sign there going, "Welcome to Alaska." And since this was a childhood dream, you can just imagine, and as a young kid, I was only like 22, just getting that far and actually crossing into Alaska, it was like unbelievable. I got a job actually with a block layer. He was building a school at the time. I was saving my money as I was working, and I was going to buy an airplane. And I had saved up, I don't remember how much, but I was getting towards buying an airplane. And then a piece of property came open just outside of town. So I bought the piece of property and built a log cabin on it. It was the first thing I ever really built, and I lived in that house for a long time, like 20 years. The reason I'm really here is nature and wildlife, the mountains, the streams. It's what makes life worth it for me. It's important to try to understand nature as a reality. A big part of that is the life and death cycles. We hear so often today that, you know, you shouldn't kill anything, you shouldn't hunt, you shouldn't do these things, you shouldn't eat flesh. But for me, to interact with nature, to be part of it, is through hunting. We have to exist under the same rules as everything else out here. And that's just really the reality of it. For the people that really want to adventure, it's out there. There's a whole big world out here, and there's so much to see, so much to do. If you go through life experiencing and doing and learning through your own actions, then I think that's more valuable than learning by somebody telling you something, then going away with the idea that that's the way it should be. You know, I heard about a job in the Wrangell Mountains as being a wrangler for a outfitter, and I'd never done it before, but I drove down about 300 miles south of here. I waited at a little airstrip until the owner of that place flew in. I waited 2 days at that airstrip before he flew in. And when he flew in, I introduced myself and I said, "I heard you're looking for a wrangler." I says, "I've got horse experience," which I did, "and I want to come back and work for you." And he goes, "Okay, hop in." There's a lot of younger people who seek the same sorts of adventures, seek the same sort of connections, and don't know even how to go about doing it. But you can do it. When I came to Alaska, I didn't know anybody. I was just a young kid, maybe your age, and I just did it. I do it, and you make life happen. But if you don't, you're really missing out on an opportunity. You're missing out on a lot of adventure, a lot of experiences, a lot of joys, and some sorrows in there too. You really have apprehension almost about doing it. But every time you do it, when you're done, you're so thankful you made the choice to do it. So all I can offer to people who want more interest in life, more adventure in life, is to just do it. All of you have opportunity, and you have a choice. You can say yes or say no. And in my view, you're way better off going through life saying yes. It's easy to think that there's always going to be a tomorrow, and there isn't always going to be tomorrow. So you really need to make the absolute most out of every day you have and do as much as you can. It's all you got. Life's short. It only goes around once. At the end of the day, you can make it what you want. I really hate to hear excuses on why somebody's life hasn't been a certain way. It's 100% your choice on what you do and how hard you work at it to how your life is going to be. If you're waiting for somebody else to do it, then you're waiting for the wrong thing.